What's going on? Jim here from Grassroots Piano, and I have this big smile on my face because the smile is energy that I've taken in from my last video. Thank you so much. It's not just the views, benefit of getting older, even though our numbers are going up, if we're lucky. It's more of the intrinsic award. I have met some amazing viewers and subscribers. I have received emails and comments, and I am really flattered. And that is important to say because as a teacher, we love participation. We do. I also wanted to mention this right away so people don't, if they click off, they won't get the thank you message. So that's really important. It means more than you'll ever know. And also look at it this way. If you're in a class, and let's say it's a college class, professor's talking about Charlie Parker. I might be wrong with this, but let's say the professor starts off saying how dedicated Charlie Parker was, and he played the C major scale for 12 hours a day. That's kind of crazy, right? But the dedication, the crafting, to hearing the sound, to the fingering, to your breath support, whatever. He called it the stale scale. Anyway, why did I go off on a tangent? Well, if a teacher or a professor speaking about this in class, you're most likely going to be getting engagement, especially with learners who love music. And the engagement was from my last video, from the emails to the comments. It makes a difference because it's not just about Jim, it's about you, and there's other people that will read those comments and they can grow because of you. And that is awesome, and every teacher needs to value that. That's how we work together as learners. Being a learner is a community effort. We need to grow and think about things and see what works for you and what doesn't work maybe. That's important. I've been doing YouTube intensely for 6 years, and I've had a lot of failing moments. It's a hard thing to get into, but like any musician, we love challenges. And so for me, this whole YouTube thing is kind of like learning an instrument or learning a really difficult piece. And I'm so glad that I have been sticking with it. So today I wanted to talk about what to expect when you start playing, or if you've taken a long break and you want to get back into it, or maybe you just need some more motivation and refresher. And I do have my chicken scratch notes here. And I used ChatGPT. Saying that jokingly, I didn't. But I did use my wife's brain, where she had been playing piano for, I think, over 48 years. And so she has a lot to say and talk about. It's just kind of like innate with her. Pretty cool. All right, so I wanted to disclose, before I get into the steps and what to expect, I wanted to disclose learning personalities. We're all different, and we all see things differently. The personality level comes in many different ways, depending on your background, depending on if you have music, depending on the time you have, depending on finances. But there's also ways, by the way, to get around the financing and still get good at piano playing. So just keep my thoughts with a grain of salt. Some of this will definitely be applicable to you. Some of it might not be. But after 30 years of teaching, a lot of this I've seen over and over again. And I'll finish with this. I am realizing now as a teacher, whether it's online or in person, we are part-time psychologists and motivator because there are many walls that we hit, the learners. So, number one, I would like to talk about the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase is a great time, and this is a very normal time. When I recorded this, it was during the holidays, so I received some emails where learners have gotten new method books, new apps, new awesome keyboards. Anyone out there get a concert grand piano? I'm jealous. But there's that side of things. There's also doing deep dives into YouTube, listening to piano music, thinking about playing your favorite piece in a year from now, or whatever it is. So there is that dopamine effect, which is so important for us adults because we deal with a lot. If you're, well, for me, 50 plus, I've lived a good amount of life. And so getting any kind of freshness is simply rewarding. And I hope you guys can relate. So the honeymoon phase is great. But we should prepare ourselves when the honeymoon phase ends. And some of you being adults, we know that's going to end. And so then I would talk about the possible overwhelm phase. And the overwhelm phase could come in a few different ways, especially where to start. If you're coming from a career, a skill, and you already have a lot going for you, when you enter and you sit down at the keyboard, the piano, it's a whole different mindset. It really is. And it can get overwhelming fast. And from fingerings to sharps to flats to rhythms to metronomes to pieces of music, what piece should I do? And I've done deep dives myself on YouTube as an educator, and sometimes you'll have people say these are good pieces to start off with, and I look at it and I'm like, I wouldn't recommend that. And it's not that Jim knows all, but I have been in a practice room with students seeing them trying to play Prelude in C. It's not a beginner piece. When I say beginner, I'm talking about like that first 6 months. You can dabble with it, but you're going to be hitting your head against the wall. And I'm that type of learner too, which is not always a benefit. So we're going to come back to the overwhelm phase. It happens a lot, and I am looking down at my notes. And number 3 is kind of within alignment of the overwhelm phase. There's a lot happening. So this is where I'm going to mention that you have to have a system in place. And this is where we need to get real on a structure and how we want to learn. A system in place could be method book. It could be going into a playlist on YouTube. It could be maybe downloading some easy music. It could be maybe listening to music, just having a system in place. That's why I offer this practice guide, 16-page practice guide for free. A lot of you are taking advantage of it. If you have already looked at it, you can let me know in the comments what you think, because I want to create another one. If you don't have a system in place and a structure, you'll bounce around a little bit, and I get that because I'm an abstract learner. And what's great about working with learners is some of us are very analytical, and I'm jealous of that. That's how my wife is, and I appreciate that because I try to dial in that for my learners, but also for me. Abstract is awesome, and that creativity is going to have its place. But when we start looking for improvement, we have to have something in place. So there's a big conversation about reading music or not, and I'm going to save it for another video because then this would be too long, but be on standby for that. I am an advocate for reading music, by the way, and I know on the internet there's a lot of people that aren't for it because it just takes too much time and you want to have fun and you want to do this. Shortcuts are good, but remember, shortcuts equal shorter goals and short-term learning and all that. So more on that later because it's a big one. All right, so number 4 is a lot happening and having a plan. So I kind of dial those in together. I do that. I try to weave things in together. And a plan could be just week to week. And it also could be, some of you mentioned that you just ordered a keyboard and it's not in yet. Go to musictheory.net. The exercises are pretty intuitive. You could start learning how to name pitches. There's a lot you can do away from the keyboard. All right, so I'm going to go into number 5, what to expect, especially as an adult. Distractions, they're going to happen. There's too many of them. Here's one. Let's say you want to read off of your iPad. You like the lighting, you can make the notes bigger, or whatever you're looking at. That's dog fur. Put it on airplane mode because you're going to get notifications and you might say, I just got to answer this work email. What happens when we get distracted? Our brain is not fully engaged with that. And we might know that, but I've caught myself when I'm multitasking, I'm not getting the same benefit. Yesterday I was kind of practicing / arranging and I just sat down and got lost in the moment. I don't know, let's say 40 minutes went by and it was just me and the chords and the tune. And it's like a meditative practice. It's awesome. So you have to be really careful with distractions. They're going to happen, but really try to set a time aside where it's just you and the piano. I also now in my life, if I don't get to the keyboard, oh well, let it happen. It's a waste of energy to get really worked up. It's a waste of energy to go, oh, I'm not able to play this part of the song yet. Just get back into it. Long term, you will grow so much more, and just enjoy that. Hey, could you hit the like button? It helps out. Thanks. Enjoy that process. A lot of us say. I wanted to jump to, if you're still with me on this video, I wanted to jump to a real talk. And in the comments, my last video, I saw some things, comments which were great, but people mentioned about, I'm learning this for fun, I am just getting into it, but I'm also just going to play the pieces I want. And that's great. And then the learner would say, could you help me? Because when I go to YouTube channels, they're talking about dominant or a minor second. And what's happening, it's not the learner's fault. It's the YouTube deep dive of Swiss cheese learning. I know that everyone's happy to get things for free, but when you sometimes get things for free, you're not gonna really maximize your goal. And this is not a sales pitch. It's just something I've seen over and over again. I've seen it when I teach students. They're paying me, and I see it when they come in like, well, I didn't practice this this week that you assigned me, but I really got into this piece. And I'm like, okay, so you want to run a marathon, but we haven't run a 10K yet. Okay, I see. That is the real talk. Why are we doing this? I would be shocked if I wouldn't believe it. I mean, I've had, no offense, but I've had learners 10, 20 years older than me, and they're doing really hard stuff. And that's what motivates them, they say. But then there's this time when they buy a book, a music book, and they can't read a melody. And isn't that what it's about? Isn't it about enjoying printing something off, buying a piece of sheet music and reading it? Isn't it nice to sit down and just play songs, even if you're playing them simply? I think that's beautiful. Yeah, we all maybe have like a showmanship type of piece, but there has to be more than that. So the real talk is, we're not competing with anyone. I had a teacher years ago say this to me. It was actually a drum lesson, and he said to me, who are you in competition with? Because there are so many great musicians out there. And that just slapped me in the face mentally, meaning, you're right. I'm going to sit down and play. And the best musicians do that. We sit down and play, we laugh at our mistakes, and we also hold ourselves accountable. Like, yeah, that sucked because I did this. So going back to the plan, you got to have a real talk. And my self-plug is, it's not that expensive, but I'm there to help you. I have a course. YouTube's not paying me, but I'm fine if you don't, because I'm a very nonchalant type of person. I don't want to be like, you do this, you buy me, but no. But it breaks my heart to see so many people get to a point where they love it, and then 6 months to a year goes by, and then that valley of despair that I call it, and many of them quit. This video will stay on the YouTube world forever. 5 years from now, many of the people watching this video, 5 years from now, they won't probably be involved with piano. And that stinks. That really does. Because no one wins. No one wins. Music is about humanity. It's about the soul of our existence. It's timeless. We can feel it. So I gotta go, but hopefully you benefited from this video. And I did want to show you a quick fingering exercise. So I'm just gonna walk over here. This is like a little bonus. Because, you know, when I first started YouTube, I never would just do talking videos. I'd want to do a little playing of some sort. Oh, this is going to get ugly. I'm going to close that. All right. So this might be a fun exercise for a newer learner. It's kind of an extended fingering technique. So you can see here I'm at my wife's grand piano, and we are middle C here, and I am going to do 1 on middle C, then 2 on E. And if you're brand new, don't even worry about this part of the video, because, I mean, you can, but, you know, it's not a biggie. But it looks like it's a pattern. Okay, and I'm going to go slower. So we have C, E, F, G, A, then thumb goes to D, okay? C, E, F, G, and then the 5, the pinky on A. D, D to F. So that's the pattern. When it starts up, we're going ascending, it's always a third. So I'll play through it up and down. D. E to G. F to A. G to B. A to C, B to D, and then we're going to finish. And don't forget, you can always slow this down on YouTube land. Going down is a little trickier. We have G to E, F to D, to C, D to B, C to A, B to G. We're almost done. A to F. And done. Let's say you can't do that exercise today and you get some handouts from me, but let's say 2 weeks from now you can. Those are the things that we want to be very proud of. If you can keep marking your positivity and your gains, that's how you get better. Hey, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I always have a style where I give some sort of perk near the end, just as a thank you for watching the video to the end. Sometimes it's a, hey, free PDF or a coupon to something or some playing tips and all that. So I just want to give back because you've been patient, kind of like a good student who's been doing the assignments and participating and practicing. Speaking of practicing and motivation, those go hand in hand, so you're going to want to watch these videos because you can read the comments and learn a lot. See you next time, and if I don't see you until 2025, please take care, have a wonderful new year, and I'm very excited to continue to meet so many awesome new adult piano players. Bye-bye.